We want to welcome everyone to the official press conference for the 2016 All-State Sugar Bowl. We ask that you please turn off your cell phones at this time for the duration of the press conference. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach Mike Gundy and players from Oklahoma State. At this time, we will have players David Glidden and Kevin Peterson from the Cowboys. As a reminder, the team locker room is open at this time. At this time, we'll go ahead and have Coach Gundy make an opening comment or two, and then we'll open the floor for questions. Coach.
Well, that was obviously a tough game for us. They're a good football team. We knew that coming in, and the snowball started downhill on us in the second quarter, and we couldn't slow them down from big plays on offense, and they started running trick plays, kind of like what we did last year in our bowl game. And offensively, we couldn't establish a running game. And at that point, we became one-dimensional, which we've talked about that before, and against a good team that runs well. And so it was tough for us to play catch-up. They could play three-man rush and drop 8 in coverage, being ahead by more than 2 scores and then 3 scores. And there's not a lot of places to throw the football. So we hate that we didn't play as good as we wanted to. We wish we could have played better. In looking at it, I probably over-practiced them. We probably worked too much and didn't give them a chance to catch their breath. We had watched tape, and obviously I had watched tape, and I had a lot of respect for Ole Miss, their athleticism, and their football team. And in hindsight, maybe we overworked a little bit, but I was proud of our team. We competed right till the end. I didn't see anybody that laid down. I told them that in the locker room. Sometimes life doesn't go the way you want it to, but we have to give them credit. Their game plan, their coaches, their players, they made plays. We had a chance to stay in it early. We dropped a couple passes in the second quarter to convert some drives. We had a big pass. We had called back. We had a hands to the face. We're going to be first down on about the 25 or so. That hurt us at that time. That put us in a long yardage situation. And then we missed a couple throws. We told our seniors that we appreciate everything they've done, and that they'll always be a big part of our team, Oklahoma State University. And the young guys, they'll get a week or so off here and get back to school, and we'll get back to work in off season and start working as a coaching staff and recruiting and get ready to roll for next year.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and open the floor for questions. We do have 2 floor mics out there, so please allow us a few seconds to get a mic to you. Let's start here on the right side on the aisle.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. I'd like to ask David and Mike, both of you guys, did you get a lot more out of Mason than you thought? He actually looked like his old self most of the night.
He was close. He wasn't his old self. What the concern we had going in is just the number of practices that he's been able to get really quality work. His health improved considerably over the last week. Going into it, for the most part, as you guys know, before we left, JW got all the work to a certain extent. So we got some out of him. He made some plays. 2 things contributed to us having a tough time in the second quarter. As I mentioned, we got behind by more than 2 scores, and they were able to play all pass. But he was able to give us some play tonight.
Other questions for Oklahoma State?
Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, we'll get a mic right back to you.
Yeah, David, you talk about what it looked like with Mason and what you got out of him.
Yeah, I think Coach Gundy hit it. It's hard to come back from something like that. A short period of time. Mason's a competitor. He wanted to be there for his team, do the best he could. Thought he stepped into a lot of throws, made a lot of good throws, and I think when you go back and look at film, there'll be some times you may see that it may not have been. So, like I said, it's a tough situation to come back from. I know that personally in an injury like that. So, I think he definitely left it all out there for us. So.
Yeah, Kevin, can you talk about how tough it was covering Treadwell and the big plays they seemed to get consistently throughout the night?
They stepped up and made plays when they needed to. We knew going into the week that we'd be on the island sometimes, that we'd have to go out and compete. They had 50-50 balls out there and he won. So, that's big ups to him and his competitiveness. But, again, we knew coming into the game that he was a high-caliber player, and he just made the plays that he needed to play to put his team in front.
Yeah, Mike, you, like you said, you had some opportunities in the first quarter, especially second drive. You're down there, I think, first and you had 2nd and 1 at the 8. Didn't get a first down, kicked the field goal. If you have some success early, is this a different game, or is the score just closer?
It's really tough to say, and it's funny. If we score the first time down, I think we were in 2nd and 2 at one time, 2nd and 3 maybe, in the drive you're talking about. And we kicked the field goal, and then on the long pass play, we had hands to the face. So I hate to take away from them, but when you get in a game and you get behind by too far and you become one-dimensional, for us anyway, it made it difficult. And so it became kind of a runaway train for us. I think they're a really, really good football team. And when we were preparing for them, and I told the team this, that there was times during the season they had some deficiencies, but when you watched them on tape when they dominated Alabama and they dominated LSU, in our schemes, we had some concerns at times. So what I told the team was that we need to do a better job of coaching. I may have fatigued them the way we practiced. Not sure, you'll never know. And that they made a lot of plays. And so you tie all that together and you end up in a game like this. And I said the same thing after the last 2 games of the season. I just don't want to take away from this team and these guys coming together and winning 10 football games. It's not easy to win 10 football games. So we're very proud of them for that. We were a little beat up late in the year, and that showed up at times. So as a coaching staff, we have to have a tremendous commitment to recruiting to continue to build some depth. And I think when you're in games like this, the depth becomes very, very important.
Barry, let me see if anybody else has a question, then we'll come right back to you. Is there another question for Oklahoma State? There we go.
Kieran Steckley, Stillwater News Press. Kevin, David, both of y'all can answer this. Has it kind of set in yet that this was your last game, being seniors, and what are the emotions like for you guys right now?
I don't know if it's set in or not yet. It's tough to say. It's definitely weird walking off that field for the last time. Being in that locker room with that feeling, it's not the feeling you want to go out on. And so the emotions aren't the way you want them to be. It's tough, but at the same time, being the older guy, you've been to those times, and so at the same time, you want to show those guys, games like that are going to happen. Sometimes it's just not your day, and so in the end, I already told a couple of the guys, it's time to just go back to work. Use this as motivation, and remember this feeling, and all those times in the off season.
Yeah, I agree with David. He hit on the nose. We're always taught wins and losses, you got to take them the same. You can't dwell on a win, you can't dwell on a loss. But, I kind of said to him when Coach Gundy was giving his post-game speech. I've heard it 1,000 times, 4 years. It was my last time hearing it, so, it kind of hit him when we said that. But, you never know the magnitude of it until you really walk away from everything and you see everything, this perspective that you're walking away from. So, it hasn't sunk in yet, but, again, we don't dwell on a loss. No matter how big it is, if it's your last one, we got to make sure we rally our guys and continue to be leaders and show them that you got to go out there and you got to play your best every game.
We have time for one more.
Yeah, David, Coach Gundy talked about he didn't want the 10-0 start, this game and this finish, to take away from the 10-0 start. How much does these 3 losses, especially these last 2, the way they happened, how much does that take away from the 10-0 start?
Oh, it's tough. You want to look back on this year and, you're going to think about the 10 wins, but for myself personally, I know I definitely will be thinking about these last couple games, and, it's tough. It's looking back on it already, it's one of those things that it's not easy to take, but, it's a game we play, and so these things happen. It was a great start. And obviously wish it would have finished a little bit differently, but, it's just the way it goes. And so if if it could have changed, obviously we would have liked that. But 10 wins it's a good mark to be at. It's a good season. It's a quality season, especially growing up a OSU fan from where I've seen the wins and losses of what they used to be back when I was a kid. So to be a part of this program the last 4 or 5 years now, it's meant a lot, and it's been a lot of wins in that time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank the Sugar Bowl All-State. It's been tremendous for our families, the players, the coaches, and the fans, and first class all the way. Everything, hospitality, the hotel, the practice facilities, the way we were treated. And these guys, even though it's a difficult loss for them, that 7 days that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. So, on behalf of President Hargis, our athletic director Mike Holder, all the fans and our team and our coaching staff, we want to thank All-State and the Sugar Bowl and all the people that have helped us. It's been a tremendous week, and it's been a fun time for our players. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.